Okay, hello everyone. This is David R. Vallejo, artist, illustrator, creative extraordinaire. And here I'm going to try to draw and talk at the same time. And what I'm doing here is I'm introducing what I'm going to be doing for Inktober. And so I'm going to be working on one piece for the 31 days of Inktober. And I'm just going to be working a little bit at a time throughout the month. And so since this is a larger piece, then that's a perfect challenge for this month's Inktober. Anyway, so what I'm doing here is I'm starting off actually with pencil, and I'm doing something that I developed as I was teaching over these past couple years, something called Draw 3 Marks. And it's basically a creative prompt process where you draw 3 random marks on a piece of paper, and you kind of look at those marks and you try to just ask yourself, what could this be? What could these 3 marks be as far as a picture goes? What kind of picture could you make from these marks? And so I've got my 3 marks. I can't quite see the video very well, but I think they kind of show up. So I've got this kind of S-curve mark here. I've got some diagonals here, and then a bunch of diagonals down here. And so I'm going to look at this for a little bit and just kind of try to see what I can make these into, what kind of picture I can make these into. Now, I tell my students that when I teach the class, I try to get them to kind of guess, what kind of thing can this look like? And we usually try to make them into something recognizable, like a landscape or a space scene, or maybe some kind of character or vehicle or whatever. But I also have told them, especially the older kids, that if they want, they can just put patterns on their picture and make it look like something more abstract. And so that's what I'm going to do here, is just work with different patterns, different textures, different techniques, and make it more of an abstract design. Now, what I'm going to be doing, my materials, I'm going to be, first of all, I'm working on watercolor canvas, and I'm hoping that my medium works on this. It's supposed to accept watercolors, so I'm assuming that it will take anything that regular watercolor paper takes, which usually it takes ink. And so I'm going to be using my glass pen here, really nice, pretty looking glass pen. And I'm going to be getting a lot of experience using this over the month, which is why I wanted to use it, because I've hardly ever used it for much of anything. So the glass pen, and then I'm going to be using Higgins Black Magic ink. It's kind of cheap stuff, but I like it for the glass pen because it's a little bit thinner ink, and it flows through these grooves right here a little bit easier than some of the thicker thicker ink that I use. So there's these little grooves in here that they kind of act like an inkwell, except there's I don't know, half a dozen of these little grooves here, and they just kind of flow toward the tip as you're drawing. Kind of a neat little invention. So Black Magic ink, it's waterproof, and it's really, really dark, which is, I guess, why they call it Black Magic. In addition to the pen, I didn't mention this before, but I'm going to be using brush washes to apply, the brush ink washes. I'm going to use the brush. I've got this type of brush, several different sizes, and so I'm just kind of going to go with the flow and see what happens with these washes. Now, I did make a change. If you saw my last video, I said that I was going to be using a support. I was going to use a canvas that was 36 by 48 inches, and I was going to mount a piece of watercolor paper on top of it. But I tried doing that, and I totally ruined the paper. I ruined the canvas. I ruined everything, and it was kind of an expensive mistake, which I'm still having a hard time talking about right now. So I almost thought that, well, forget it. I'm just not going to do Inktober this year. But then I kind of regrouped myself and recovered and thought, okay, I got to do this though. And so I went out and bought this watercolor canvas from Hobby Lobby and got it for a discount, which is why I go there, is for the discounts. And anyway, and so hopefully, again, like I said, hopefully this is going to work out for my Inktober. So I'm not going to post videos of my Inktober challenge here, but I'm going to post pics on my social media, and so Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. That's basically where I'm going to be posting. So keep an eye out for that. You can find those on my website, and I'll post them down below in the information section of this video as well. So if you are participating in Inktober, good luck. If you're just looking, then have a great time looking, because there's a lot of neat stuff out there to look at and be inspired by. And if you're not doing it this year, maybe next year you can do it. But anyway, so yeah, so till next time, take care.